So we have a new update for Age of Empires 2. This is the 27th of May update. It has this number here. We never remember the numbers. Let's just go off the date. So 27th of May 2020. We have a nice
Age of Empires website linked below. Here are
overview video by Zero Empires, but we're gonna look at all of the nitty gritty details. You guys can go look at that video on your own time. So, what do we have? 6-month milestone of the arrival. Wow. I feel like it's been way longer actually. Just been spending so much time on the game. Improvements to a new in-game event. Cool. Improvements to stability and playability. Well, when you hit rock bottom, there's only one way up usually. Fix the infamous 5-minute disconnect. I'm not sure about that. Malay now prioritizes speed over stamina when aging up. Otherwise, it should be fixed. Implemented various balance changes and fixes. Improved the AI. Man, they're putting a lot of effort into the AI. I'm not saying that, the people who work on the AI can't work on other things, or could work on other things, but I feel like the AI is in a pretty good spot already. Introducing the Mayhem Event. I get it, May. Got it. Celebrating the quirkiness of Age of Empires 2. Be safe, everyone, and we hope you enjoy the latest changes. So, how do you download? Build Spotlight. So this is going to be the update. Bonjour, maman, j'ai ma caméra en route aussi. Alright, so we have the update. Mayhem. Got some new, what is that, like a champion pouring some blood on his sword. I don't know what this is. A squire riding a sheep. And then a Teutonic Knight who's just too strong now. Interesting. 3 new profile icons. Some new age-themed Easter eggs hidden in the game. Interesting. So you do these different things. Calculating research FX mod. Interesting. I'll have to watch the video after to see what that is. 4 new Easter eggs to seek out in the game, 2 of which are permanent additions. Okay, so we got something about an elephant, something about a crown. So maybe this is Regicide, maybe this is Hunt. That looks like a curling iron, like, Olympics. And that's a clock or something. Interesting. And then you have to sign into Xbox Live, but that also creates the chat filter. So usually I sign in and then, okay, the fact about that. So 5-minute disconnect fix. Fix an issue results in specific router disconnecting from the server 45 minutes after a starting match. I hadn't had that problem. Game won't crash with that. Gameplay. So Malay properly work. That's good. Double the maximum scrolling speed. Wow, okay. From the very beginning of the game, the scrolling speed was kind of low, so I've just been used to maxing it all the way, and I think I'm going to have to go back through and see if I can't bump it up a little bit higher. Fix an issue where players can research technology instantaneously. Oh wow, they fixed that already as well. Okay, that's a really good sign. That's probably what bothered me more than Malay. Like Malay, if you get that in like a team game where you're just going random with friends, you just restart the match and it's not that big a deal. You have to create a new lobby, but otherwise it's fine. But these technologies that you could research, and you can do it on accident too. Hera did it today on his stream while he was playing a show match against Casfa, and the stream caught it, and he took it in good spirit. He was joking about it, and he just decided, you know what, I'll let Casfa win the match because he got Bodkin for free. Not the craziest thing in the world. Khmer villagers will now continue constructing houses after garrisoning and being sent back to work. Okay, this might be because you can garrison villagers into houses, so it'd be a bit issue. Visual issue with rubble could be seen through the fog of war. It's not going to impact the game too much. Attacking the sides, aka the gatehouse towers, or barbicans. I've never heard that again before. Of gate would not trigger the attack notification sound. Oh, that would have been useful to note. Dolphins would no longer remain on the map once they've been depleted. So long and thanks for all the fish. That's a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy quote. It's fish instead of food, but it's the same thing. I've never tried to fish dolphins. I find it an act of terror, so I won't do that. Supplies technology is no longer available to the Chinese, Cumans, Huns, Khmer, Lithuanians, Mayans, Mongols, and Tatars. Interesting. So supplies makes it cheaper for your infantry. Makes them cost less food, and they pretty much did it to either civilizations that already had pretty weak infantry, for example, tatters, but they also did it to some of the top tier civs. So they're going to have a harder time going with the infantry choices. It almost forces them into a meta role. I think it makes sense in terms of just kind of narrowing their flexibility without impacting the best parts of their flexibility. So we'll see how that plays out. Watchtowers can no longer be built in the Dark Age if one is automatically generated at the start of the match. Oh, okay. So I guess if you're playing Fortress, you start with Watchtowers. Instead of building Watchtowers in Dark Age, you still have to wait until Feudal Age to build them. Interesting. That really only took place in like a few scenarios and stuff. Reduce the length of the attack animation to 1.35 seconds, equivalent to light cavalry. Not increase the DPS, but improves the ability to chase and harass targets. Interesting. Okay. I mean, with Hussar, you're usually not microing them as much. You have other things to do in Imperial Age. Aztecs, civilization bonus was decreased. The training time of military now does so by 10%, was 15. Okay, so a small drop to how quickly they can spam units. Burmese, bonus granted by Manipur cavalry are no longer partially blocked by the masonry tech. Okay, so this is the bonus that gives the elephants, and I think Arambai as well, a bonus against buildings, and it was partially blocked by masonry. So it does more like the intended damage. Indian team bonus to damage dealt by camels to structures no longer blocked. Okay, so the same thing. This actually affects, since it's a team bonus, it affects camel archers as well. So if you have an Indian and a, not Burmese, Berber teammate, you can have camel archers from the Berber teammate that does some crazy, it's like obsidian arrows for your camel archer. It's pretty fun tech. Well, it's not even a technology, it comes free. You just have to build your camel archers, which could be hard to get to, but yeah, that's up to you. Elephant archers, reduce the reload time of attacks from 2.5 to 2 seconds. So what is that, like a 25% faster attack? And reduce the cost for 10 gold. Okay, they're still probably the worst unique unit in the game, but they're slowly moving them into a decent position, I guess. El Dorado, this is your upgrade for Eagle Warriors to give them like plus 40 HP. So very strong tech. And increase the research time from 50 to 70 seconds, so just over a minute now. Zealotry. Okay, this is the technology for, I think it increases the health on Mamelukes and camels, and they reduce the cost from 800 to 700 gold. This isn't the big issue for Saracens, it's their other technology which allows you to like save 33 gold every time one of your monks gets killed, like you regain the gold. Such a useless tech. Objective timer is now displayed properly after reloading a saved game. Interesting. Okay, so I think that's for your wonders and your relic countdowns. Golden stone should spawn properly. Straggler trees. Okay, generates they don't straggle. So they don't spawn right next to forests. That would be like if you're walling to a forest and then someone cuts through or palisade drops on top of the straggler tree and then can get past your walls where it looked otherwise like it was a contiguous wall. And then predators are generated probably more evenly. So we have some new maps in the map pool, but we'll just look at the updates. Yeah, we'll look. I think all of these maps are now going to be in the map pool. So Continental, extra golden nodes, stone nodes have been adjusted to spawn per player in 1v1 maps. That's good. Generally, more nodes that are smaller on maps make them a bit better. It doesn't turn into trash fights quite as quickly. Civilizations can get to all of their compositions that they want to. I'm not saying they can reach Paladin or War Elephant every match, but they have a better chance of it. Or it's more viable. Hill Fort adjusts the generation of starting gold and stone to prevent them from appearing right next to a player's town center. That's nice. Makes it so people who are trying to drop a castle or something, go for the unique unit, still have to make a mining camp on their stone. They can't just go off the town or use the town center to drop off resources. Islands, better gold stone spawning. Islands, acacia trees have been replaced. Okay. Fifth relic spawn in 1v match now appears on one of the small islands in the middle. That makes sense. Nomad, the logic when generating shorefish has been updated to distribute the nodes more evenly. Okay, I never saw that as an issue on Nomad. Kilimanjaro, increasing the starting food for each player by spawning 4 additional goats and 2 shorefish per person. So Kilimanjaro is one of the new maps for the map pool. I haven't played with it before. I think I might have played one map. We were just doing random map pun wars with the community members. So 4 additional goats and 2 shorefish per person. So I guess a little bit easier to get up to feudal age. Slightly increase the number of forested mountain slope areas generated on the map, so a little bit easier to get wood. So it's pretty much just increasing resources on Kilimanjaro. Fish should be further from berries, so you have to have 2 mills if you want to go for them. Ravines. The starting food on the map has been updated to include 10 ibexes, 10 geese, 6 berry bushes. And Scandinavia adjusts the natural balance of predators on the map. Bears and wolves now claim their own territories. Okay, that's a really weird change. Just trying to make them, separated. Not making ragtag groups. Some stuff for random map scripting. I'm actually going to get into this. I'm going to start investigating more into map scripting. My brother's interested in it, so I told him we could try it out together. Lobbies and matchmaking. Remove the grace period where players could resign from a ranked match without losing ELO points. I thought that was already removed. Maybe not. Fixed an issue which prevented players from joining another multiplayer lobby after playing a custom scenario in the same session. Interesting. Fixed an issue which prevented player chat from appearing when playing a custom multiplayer scenario. Okay. And we have some new ranked maps. So Arabia, Arena, Hill Fort, and Mega Random are the ones that are staying. You know what that means? It means they took out Nomad. It's a sad day. So we have Bog Islands. Let's just quickly skip through.
With a new month comes a
the video, and I'll do the narration. So Kilimanjaro looks like this. This is the top of Kilimanjaro, the snow peak, and it overall is just a very gentle slope going down. Little pockets of trees everywhere. Players start at the base on either side, and so you have some sheep, some fish, some berries. It's pretty close to Arabia, just some different starting resources. Golden pit we've already seen in the map pool. It's just a pit. Gold. Most of the gold is in the center of the pit, so you need to take control of that at some point. This is this still golden pit? Yeah. Really going to resource. So Bog Islands, I believe, is a nomad start.
The majority of the map on Bog Islands is made up of mangrove shallows, which can be built upon and traversed by land units and ships. The center of the map contains a limited amount of fish, and extra water buffalo can be found throughout the map. Each player spawns with 4 water buffalo and...
Never mind, not a nomad start. Clearly start on a little island and you can build everywhere around it. Some people have, if you haven't played Bog Islands before, if you played on Mega Random, sometimes it generates a map similar to this, where you generally have to build town centers on wood lines or extra golds on this little, what is this, amphibious terrain. But you can't build on the very edge, like you wouldn't be able to place a town center right here. It has to be completely amphibious or completely land. Wolf Hill. I don't know how I feel about this map being the map pool. You can see this is a hill in the middle of the map. There are quite a few wolves, and there are tons of relics. I don't think that means you want to go Lithuanians, because Lithuanians can only make use of 4 relics to get their bonus for cavalry. But I guess it does make it more likely that you'll be able to get to that full 4 attack bonus. But yeah, pretty much whoever controls this hill, as long as they can control the relics long enough, they're going to win the game. Are we going to see more fast castles? Probably not. You still need map control. What else do we have? Mountain Pass. This is the Nomad start, I think.
Start to Nomad. However, it has no water. The map features plenty of huntables and herdables for food income, all to consider when placing your town center. Having safe access to one of the small pockets of trees scattered across the map is also something to think about. Small fertile golds can be found around the entire map. The same goes for...
Okay, so this is just a shitty version of Nomad. If you wanted to place a town center near this woodline, you always want to place a town center near a woodline. You have hills everywhere. You can't place a town center here.
3 tile stones. We hope you have a fantastic time.
Like, you'd be able to place a town center on some portions of this woodline. But, you want to place your town center immediately. the walking time is idle time that you could be making villagers. So yeah, Mountain Pass, if they remove some of the hills, it's a lot nicer. Tatters could be good on this map, but it kind of throws out the balance for Nomad Maps. I just made a tier list video that I just posted on YouTube a few hours prior to recording this as the patch came out.
Exploring the new
And yeah, I'm not a huge fan of taking out Nomad. But they kept Mega Random. I feel like people prefer playing Nomad over Mega Random, even though Mega Random can give you a Nomad start as well. Hill Fort. Yeah, so I'll have to try out these maps. And then Continental, I think I skipped over, but Continental is just water around the edges, a little bit in the middle, generally a narrow pass to cut between. If you imagine like North and South America just kind of stuck up next to each other, then you have Central America in the middle. That's pretty much what Continental is. Team map pool, fairly similar. Lombardy is back, and we have Nomad in the team map. Wait, I feel like that's always been in there. Why is it in bold? Not sure. Scandinavia, I'm terrible at that map. But I'm not going to spend too much time. AI, they always update AI. Let's see what else we can see here. Some scripting commands. Interesting. Continue making adjustments to the in-game profanity filter. Cool. Maybe I'll not sign out of Xbox Live immediately after getting all of the seasonal icons. How icons are displayed when the display future items option is enabled to better distinguish between those that are not yet available in the... Oh, okay, I see. So when you're going, when you've, say you've clicked fletching, after that it'll show bodkin arrow, but you want to differentiate between whether you can afford bodkin arrow, or whether you can upgrade to bodkin arrow because you're in Castle Age, but you just can't afford it, and whether or not you're not even in Castle Age, and it's just the next technology that you should be thinking about when you get to Castle Age. A setting to mute or continue playing the game's audio when the application is not in focus. Oh, that's neat. So I could be like, you know, in this tab, and I could hear the music in the background as well. Post-game timeline can no longer be modded to display during a match while it's still being played. Okay. Fixed an issue in the game chat that would not be displayed in record games. Limited the frame rate of out-of-game menus to 60 FPS. 7, 9, 11, 26. So, boo. And I'm not sure what 26 is. Is it dadgum? Well, whatever. It'll use the original audio when possible. Localized audio. Does that mean you can replace it? Maybe. So some fixes. I don't know why this is under Chinese. But anyways, they fixed some of the language options. I'm not going to go too much through this. You can check that on your own. Graphics. Bombard cannons now have the correct anchor point, allowing them to reorient themselves more gracefully. I do like myself some graceful bombard cannons. Particle effects for fires would not appear or appear in the wrong places. Well, the fire ships just weren't showing particle effects whatsoever. Fixed an issue with color corruption during the dock deconstruction animations. Oh, okay. That would have been a big issue. Scenario editor. Tomorrow's stream will have the scenario editor in it. Triggers. Again, we'll be going over the scenario editor tomorrow, and I'll look back over this to see if there's anything new. Continue to track issues reported by the community. Blah, blah, blah. We're aware of instances where melee units aren't pathing appropriately when engaging attacks of enemy armors. Okay, so this is actually... I mean, other than like the cheating and the bugs for resource costs and upgrades and stuff, this is the thing I have to... that bothers me the most in the game. It's not the biggest issue, it's what I run into the most often, where melee units aren't pathing properly. So now I'm going to jump into a team game with some other members of the community, and we'll try out some of these new maps and see how they play out. And I may or may not edit this in the video, showcasing the new changes in our May 27th patch.